This is episode 30 of this podcast and making me thirsty, the special holiday episode. We thought we had to hop on. This is just me and O'Hara for the first time since we started having guests. And we're ruffling some feathers on Twitter talking about Festivus. Everyone's having a great time today with Festivus. And we just pointed out that in the grand scheme of things, the episode is not very good. We had it ranked 116 with our averages. And that was me bringing it up because I had it a little bit higher. But after rewatching it, I think I would even drop it even further to where you had it. But so we're here just to kind of go through all the other Christmas episodes and give you guys one right before the holidays here. So we thought we'd just squeeze this one in.
Yeah, I had it at 158.
I know. And I had it like 70 something, I think, right? Or 90 something. What did I have?
74.
Yeah, that's too high. I just rewatched it just before we came on. 74 is too high. I mean, I had it number 2 in season 9, I think, which, that's probably about right. But season 9 is so weak that I can't believe I even put it that high.
Yeah, it's a season 9 is terrible. It's a terrible season. But listen, I get it. Festivus was built as a gimmick to make money and sell T-shirts and polls and literally take advantage of the internet era we live in today. But
yeah, but it wasn't really out then.
What wasn't the internet?
Yeah, it wasn't as big anyway.
No, but it was. Listen, these guys are forward thinking.
It's still It still had a viral theme to it, though. That's more of the point, right? It had the ratings bump. It's still sticking today. Like,
right.
That's what everyone remembers about it, that it had Festivus in it. It's the only reason everyone remembers it. The rest of the episode is horrible. Elaine's storyline's horrible with the stupid sub, trying to get the fucking free sub. Even Kramer's storyline is bad. With the bagels. Jerry with the Two-Face, I mean, it's, for season 9, it's not bad. But, I mean, other than Kruger and Frank at the end,
yeah,
and the Human Fund. I mean, the Human Fund is bigger than Festivus, in my opinion. If you like the Human Fund, I'll respect that more than the Festivus, dog and pony show.
Yeah, but again, to me, that's just gimmicky as well. They wanted to push a headline in there, and 2 of them hit, but it was all of it was forced just to get Festivus in there. That's it.
Right. And when we talked to Melman, that's what they did, right? They came up with storylines for each person, and then they just kind of tried to meld them all together. But he would even admit in some of his duds, like some of his storylines weren't great. In this episode, none of the storylines were great. They just had a funny thing with a writer who had this funny thing about Festivus his dad invented. And they're like, oh yeah, Frank can do it. That'll be funny. But then they just threw a bunch of shit at the wall for the rest of it and slapped it together for the end scene. I mean, it could have just been the fucking dinner at the end and called it a day. That's how bad the rest of the episode is.
I think the popularity is the memes.
Yes.
I don't. If people actually go back and watch the episode, and they'll be like, "Whoa!" So, like, after watching that today, and then watching the pick, which is the nip, it's just listen. I don't think any of these episodes are "quote unquote" Christmas episodes, but
they're as Christmassy as it gets.
Yes.
Seinfeld didn't do those gimmicks, right? So the red dot is one of them too. We call it a Christmas episode. They have the Christmas party. He gives a Christmas present, and we rank the red dot number 2 all time. So,
yes.
And the pick is just incredible. We were talking about before we started recording. The pick is absolutely incredible. I mean, everything about it is insane. And, we had that ranked in the top 50. And even the race, I mean, is it a Christmas one? Kramer's a Santa Claus in the mall. Elaine dates the communist. Jerry runs the race. It has that amazing scene in the coffee shop with George and Jerry meeting Duncan. Those are the Christmas episodes, and they're all light years better than Festivus. That's the freaking point here.
Yeah, the communist. By the way, he died a couple years ago. May he rest in peace.
Did he? Oh.
Yeah, Ned. Yeah, I don't think of that, but yeah, the nip, is more Christmassy because it's a card involved. All 4 characters are at their highest level. Like that, it's hard to say that in any other season or episode, but I mean, you name it, Kramer to Jerry with Tia to George just being. I mean, watching
George and the
George
Susan
in
stuff.
that,
George with the zipper.
yeah,
It's
just the way
incredible.
his dialogue, his storytelling versus like you watch Festivus, oh, and he runs out on his father. Like that's all it is. George yelling. The human fun. Actually, the only thing I did laugh on the episode was when he came by the table at Monk's and he found the rubber band in the soup, and he goes, "Oh,
Yep.
Paco."
Yeah, Paco.
I actually did laugh at that, but because that seemed like old George. But yeah, a forced episode. Like I said, I think it's a meme era. Like I said, I don't think people are watching it. They just see the grievances. I think it's so funny, and I get it.
And I think they like having all of the things to talk about, the poll, the grievances, like they can build around it. That's why there's that website about it on Twitter. Like there's so much there to like latch onto, and even more so than like a yada yada, which we also don't love as a meme. Like that's just one line, right? Yada yada yada, right? But this is like they got all this stuff attached to it. They have little parties. They they all fucking have their polls, and yeah, it's okay. Like, we're not sitting here. And people, it's so funny. We were talking before. People are going crazy on us on Twitter for going being down on Festivus. Even Jerry said, "Let's end the grievances." But it's like you said, that's what's great about the show. I mean, there's going to be some duds, and somehow this thing got wrapped up into like the greatest episode ever, but not the greatest episode ever. Like we're saying, it's just, hey, it's Festivus. Let's all talk about it.
No, and listen, shout out to Al Dukes. He got us going this morning. He tweeted to us because there was a big article on NJ.com about it. He's like, he goes, I thought you guys were going to bring a stop to this. So we're doing our best, Al, but it's going to take some time. But yeah, I think more people are starting to lean into this, and see kind of Festivus just as a bad episode. But and again, I like I said, it's the greatest series ever. But it's almost like season 9 is like when Michael Jordan went to play for the Wizards. Like no one, you don't want to remember that. Yeah, there might be a couple good moments here and there, but like he's a Bull. Just like Seinfeld in their prime was years, 2 through 6. We don't want to diminish that, but it's funny how some of these episodes with the younger generation have just like that's what they think of Seinfeld. Like when you ask them what they think their favorite Seinfeld episode is, Festivus is gonna rise to the top, which is why we put out a poll today. I'm curious where it's at.
Looking at it right now, we're at 97 votes. It's 44.3%. Festivus took the lead on the NIP is 41.2%. Now, I worded the poll, what's the best Christmas Seinfeld moment? If we just say what's the best episode, there's no way Red Dot loses this. I don't know. People are insane if Red Dot loses it. I mean, they could lose it maybe to the pick because you have to rewatch in the pick. I mean, the pick I can easily see in someone's top 20. We had it in the top 50, but you're splitting the hairs at that point. But no way would Festivus win on an episode. Now they're specifically saying, I put Festivus Miracle as the Christmas moment. Maybe people are taking that literally, but it is edging out right now at 97 votes. Get on there, folks. It'll be up there all the way through till Christmas. So if you're watching this, today or Christmas Eve, go to @ThisThirsty, give us a follow, and put your poll in because, I mean, I thought it was going to be a landslide with Festivus. The way everyone was like, publicly going after us for like you said, like taking the ball from Allen, running with it, and now it looks like there are, the silent majority is starting to starting to make some noise here. Nip Slip is moving up in the.
Well, and I think we have some loyal core fans here as well. But yeah. I think as we explode on Twitter, as it's happening so fast, I think you're right. I think Festivus would win, just because of the pink hat fans that are out there. But if you ask a hardcore Seinfeld fan, yeah, I mean,
if you just ask them, if you just say to them, do you like season 4 better than season 9? I mean, if anyone says they like season 9 better, like the full season better, I mean, I got to start, questioning that. I need to hear a really strong argument, which we haven't heard yet. We've had a lot of people on our podcast guests who bring up some of those later episodes, and they don't make a strong argument other than, yeah, it was funny, I liked it, I like that, like just when it got a little bit crazy, like. But you're not going to convince us that you know the strike is better than the red dot, or better than the race. I mean, or the pick.
And I'm curious why they called it the strike all these years later. I mean, I know that happens on a lot of episodes for sure. Like,
yeah, this one didn't need it though. Usually they do it like the nipple. He wanted to call it the nipple, but he knew that NBC would see it on the board. He always says and like ask about it, so he changes the name, and this way they can slip it right through. That's a pun. The nip slip, but yeah, I don't know. Why wouldn't they just call it Festivus, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's
or Two-Face. I mean, that's Jerry's whole thing on that one's a Two-Face chick, right?
yeah, that was bad too. I mean, Elaine, I think Elaine, like I'm killing Festivus here for sure, but Elaine was the worst part of the episode. I mean, clearly she's a lot of that in 8 and 9, but I mean, this was just it didn't make any sense, didn't fit in, and then they put her in at the end at the Festivus table with the guys from OTB, which.
Guys from OTV were funny. I'll give him that. And the Denver Best guy's great. He was in Upright Citizen Brigade, I believe. He's done a few things. That guy's good. McDonald, Denim Vest. I saw you tweet.
Yeah.
He's funny too, but I mean, Elaine's entire storyline was getting the sub. Like, are you guys? This is where we're at. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's and that's why you got to look at the totality of the show versus just the moment. But again, I hate Festivus. I hate the whole thing's just stupid to me. But of course, because I remember in previous episodes, like they mentioned George going to visit his parents for Christmas, so it didn't it didn't all add up for me. But I get it. I get it.
Yeah, we get it. Everyone that's going after us for saying Festivus is a waste of time. Like, we get why it's big, and yeah, I even would say when it aired live, I liked it obviously a lot more than I am now in retrospect. I mean, I think I put a lot more weight on the dinner at the end as being a bigger part of the show. That's what I remembered about it before I rewatched it as many times as we have, and rewatching it, I'm like, oh, right, there's all this other bullshit that's not.
Listen, all I got to say to the 5 people to watch this is go watch The Pick. Just go watch The Pick, and then go watch Festivus and tell us what you think.
That's it. That's where we'll end it. This was going to be a quick one. Just had to say our piece, get it out there, get to us on Twitter at This Thirsty, and check out all the other episodes, and let us know what you're thinking. We what was your line before we came on? I said, we're getting called loser on Twitter today because we said something about Festivus. And what was that line you threw out there?
I don't know exactly, but something to the effect of, listen, if you're not called a loser on Twitter, you really haven't arrived. But
exactly.
Yeah, there's a couple of nasty people, take that pole and shove it, the Festivus pole. Hey, we got thick skin here at this.
That's right. We can take it.
Not too worried about that. And listen, we're not going to hold anything back, pull any punches. And that goes for Seinfeld himself, He, let's be honest, season 9, what can I tell you?
Season 9 wasn't great.
He mailed it in, on that. And this episode is just a big part of that, mailing it in. So what can I tell you?
Yep. Hit us up at This Thirsty. Go to the poll. Check out other episodes. We got another guest coming up next week. So we'll be back on the train with the guests. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Happy Festivus, everybody.
Happy Festivus.